What's going on, guys? Good morning. So we are continuing again the story of my convertible. Now, for those of you who are not caught up, in the description I have the links to the other videos. Basically, it's one long story, and I believe this is part number 4. So if you haven't seen the other 3, they're down in the description. Go check them out. If you have seen them, let's continue. So I decided I was going to keep the car. I did the manual conversion on it, and I fixed the brakes, and that's basically where we left off. So now that I knew I was going to keep the car, and now that it ran fine, my next goal was to just make it generally a better, nicer car. So I started going after and fixing just like a bunch of little stuff. And one of the bigger stuff, I guess, that I wanted to fix was the top mechanism. See, when I first bought the car, it worked for like maybe three times taking it up and down, and then like the 4th time I took it up, it had like this big bitch fit, and then like the top stuck up like that, and I was like, oh great. So I took the little freaking Allen key. For those of you guys who have convertible E36s, you guys know the struggle when that gets stuck. You got to take this little Allen key, you got to turn the motor all the way down, and so I got it back to where it was shut, and then I just left it like that. So for a while it was just like having a soft top coupe. Like, it was a convertible, yeah, but it didn't convert, so it was just like a coupe with a soft top basically. And so I wanted to fix that because I genuinely enjoyed driving it with a top down the couple times that I did. And so now that I was going to keep the car, I just knew I was going to get it fixed no matter what it took, you know. It wasn't like I'm worried about dumping too much money into this car because I'm gonna freaking keep it forever sort of thing. And so I started tackling it. I replaced the switch in the center console that actually does the whole thing. I thought that was bad. And then I replaced some of like the tonneau straps in the back. And then I replaced the upper motor to get it to work properly. And no matter what I did or how much I adjusted it, it wouldn't work. It never worked. I replaced like a handful of parts to get it to work properly, and for some reason the whole mechanism it wouldn't work. So I was like doing some research on it and trying to figure out how to get this mechanism to work properly, and I figured out that the first generation E36 convertibles, like the OBD1 318s, they had full manual tops. Now I've heard of like the semi-manual tops where it's like got a manual latch here, but then the rest of it's all automatic. But the 318s had a full manual top. Like, it had a lever that you twist here, push it up, and then on the back, by the back seat, they have like another door handle that opens up the tonneau cover. So full manual, and I was like, oh dude, that's fucking tight, right? Never have to worry about any motors breaking, don't have to worry about the entire top mechanism being in sync. And so I started going to BMW Vista and getting parts diagrams for the manual top latch assembly and the whole manual assembly for the convertible top. And so I'm like, dude, that's like the perfect solution. Do a manual swap conversion on the top mechanism. And so I figured out all the parts that I needed, figured out where to get them. Most of them I bought brand new. So the top latch assembly that runs up here, it's got a little latch on it. I bought the last one that they had directly from BMW. They had to ship it from Germany. It took them like 2 weeks to get it, but I got the last one, which is super fucking sick. So I'm sorry for you guys. You guys can't go buy them brand new if you want to do the manual top conversion, but they're all over the place if you can find a 318 convertible parts car. So I figured it out, and the whole swap was actually pretty trick. So there's like a bunch of cables and stuff that runs on the back. There's a little box that sort of holds it all together. It's got like this little lever inside. It's pretty cool. Aside from that, the back seat trim piece actually has a cutout for that little door handle. So they didn't really change the design of the backseat trim because it still has that little door trim like handle in it. And the chassis had the bolt holes for the little black box that it sits in. So pretty freaking sick. Like, it's almost like the car was made to have a manual top, but they just built it around it. Or they didn't really change the mounting points for it with the convertible chassis. So pretty freaking sick. So I got that all tied in and working properly. So nice. Oh, so nice to have that thing working. It's 100% manual. There are no freaking motors anywhere. It never breaks. Just freaking flawless. It was beautiful. And I think that would be a pretty trick DIY series to do, would be an auto to manual top conversion. For those of you guys who have drop tops that are interested in that, let me know. I might make it happen. Of course, mine's already converted, so I might have to do it on like another person's car or something, but I don't know. If you guys want that, I'll definitely look into it, because that was, I think that'd be pretty sick. So I got that all working. I got the convertible top working. Now the issue still was that top had holes in it. It leaked in water whenever it rained, so I really couldn't drive it out in the rain. Luckily, I'm in Southern California. It doesn't rain that much, but it rains a couple days a year, and it was kind of a pain to get a different car to drive to work or to school, whatever, because I would open the door after it rained and there's just a giant puddle. So I used to like line my seats with towels and line the floor with towels and all that shit. And so hopefully it rained enough to where like it wouldn't soak through the towel. So it was just a big pain in the ass. So I got a Sierra Auto Top off of Amazon. I think it was like 500 bucks. Brand new canvas, brand new rear window. It was pretty sick. And then I took it down to Bernie's Auto Upholstery down here in San Diego, and he quoted me $500 to do it. And I went out the first day to get it done, and he didn't get to the car at all that day. And so I had to come back another day, but he dropped the price to like 300 bucks for the inconvenience, which was pretty sick. So getting a brand new top for me only costs like 800 bucks, but it's freaking beautiful and it's so worth it. It doesn't leak at all. So hyped. And so now I had a full functioning 5-speed manual convertible E36 that worked. So freaking nice. And then I started doing some modifications to it. So I found this guy down in San Diego who was selling a set of BBS replicas, the RXs that are on the convertible right now. He was asking $200 for them, and I went down there and they're all curb rash. One of them's bent, and I was looking at it and I really didn't want to get replica wheels. And it turns out he thought they were replica wheels. They were genuine BBS wheels. So I didn't give a fuck how curb rash they were. I bought them, sent them down to Velvet Wheel Services in San Marcos when they were open. So I took them down there, they cleaned them up. I think it was like 150 bucks a wheel to get them all nice and cleaned up. One of them had to be trued. So I think I got like a fully refurbished set of BBS RXs. They're 18s. All in all, I paid like 800 or 900 bucks for them. And they're freaking beautiful wheels. And they're basically brand new now. I had them on Little Wing for a little while, if you guys remember that. And so I had them on the convertible, but the issue I had with it was the convertible was still on full factory suspension. So the wheel gap just looked like absolute shit. So I put the contours back on, and then I bought a set of H&R race springs. And so I threw the race springs on, threw the BBSs on top of that. I got a full set of Barham tires for it. Not the best quality, but pretty good for the price. So I threw that whole thing together, and it completely changed how the convertible looked. It actually looks like a clean, aggressive car now, which is super sick. I was so hyped when I finally got it dropped properly like that. And then from there, I just started tacking on other fun little modifications. I got a pair of Corbeau racing harnesses, the red ones, 4 points. I got a hub, I got an NRG red quick release, and I got a renowned Monaco Motorsport 3-point steering wheel. That wheel, beautiful steering wheel. So I threw on that oil cooler. That mod gets a lot of attention. Even on this car, like 90% of the questions I get about modifications on this car are about the oil cooler. So I got the oil cooler on, and then I put the ducktail on. That was sick. I love that ducktail. That's actually a freaking replica Rocket Bunny ducktail, and it looks so bitchin'. I think I paid like 120 bucks for it on eBay. It took it like a month to come in, but it was so worth it. They said on the page that it was only meant for coupes, but it fits the convertible just fine. So I got that in, I got it all squared out, got it all measured out, and then I freaking started drilling holes in that. And that was like, oh, the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done to this day was drill holes in the trunk of that convertible to fit the ducktail. But that drop top pulls it off, man. I've seen some other convertibles with wings on them. They really don't look that good, honestly. Like the little high-rise wings, I've seen a few with the lightweight wing like I have on the sedan here. They just don't look very good, but the ducktail, it just fits it so damn well. Oh. And then the car was finally coming together, and then I actually started getting attention at me and started getting a lot of questions about the car. My Instagram page started blowing up because I would post regular photos of it. And that was kind of the thing with me. I didn't really like to post photos of like my stock car, you know, because despite having the manifold upgrade, the intake, the exhaust, the 5-speed conversion, all of that is like performance modifications. You don't see that from the outside of the car. So I'll have like all these modifications done to it, but the car looks exactly the same, you know what I mean? So I didn't really like taking good photos of it, and I do regret that. I do regret not having a lot of pictures of the car when it was bone stock, which is why I did a lot of videos on the sedan when I first got it, when it was automatic, because I want to be able to look back at when it was automatic, you know what I mean? And then finally I was completely satisfied with driving that car. I didn't give a fuck, honestly. That thing was so fun to look at, so fun to drive, just Oh, it was just a beautiful thing. Just a beautiful thing. There's nothing like cruising Coast Highway with a top down and a modified M3. Just, oh, it's butter. It's butter. Like 2 months after I get the car to just this state of just beauty, the bitch started misfiring. And that begins the downward spiral to where the car is today. But that is a story for next week, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it fresh, and I will see you guys later.